You said to get to your 20%, you have to be willing to piss off the 80%.
Mm.
And from a branding perspective, it makes so much sense because when you stand for something clearly,
Yeah.
which you do, you inadvertently stand against a
You
ton.
have to. If you draw a line, there's a side on either side, and you have to say, like, I'm on this side.
Did you see that Nike ad?
Dude, I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, the Willem Dafoe ad.
Yeah.
Like, what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine.
Yeah.
Just like, it was actually the first time that I'd seen something from Nike in a long time that I was like, this is what built this brand. And I think they had lost their way for a while.
Yeah.
With like the wokeism and all that stuff. And I think it's like, Nike means victory, which means people have to lose.
Yeah. And they were willing to say that for the first time ever.
Right.
I posted it on my LinkedIn and it was 50-50.
Yeah.
I'd say it was actually more like 80% of people were either neutral or pissed off. And 20%,
Really?
yeah, and 20% of people were like, that is me. I am a Nike person. And for me, when I saw that, I thought I want to buy some Nike shorts.
Yeah, it was the first time I actually felt like I had positive brand affinity towards the brand in a long time.
How important in this game of building and starting is people?
Very?
A hiring question.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why I asked this question, because when I look at my portfolio, early stage first founders never seem to understand the importance of hiring in people.
Yeah.
And I bang my head against the wall trying to convince them that actually the game they're playing is
It's a
in the
recruiting
word
game.
company, group of people.
Yeah. So I'll start with one thing and then I'll answer the question. So I was talking to a mentor of mine, and he said, when I was in my 20s, it was all about the destination. He said, when I got to my 30s, I realized it was all about the journey. He said, when I was in my 40s, I realized it was about the company. And I was like, I can't wait till you're in your 50s. I was like, what's the next one, right? But I thought that was such a profound shift in terms of how he thought about his business success, because he was like, I don't need to be a decabillionaire. He's like, I'm cool where I'm at. And now I just want to do it with people that I like. And so to the question about people overall, I believe that the potential of an organization is directly correlated with the aggregate intellectual horsepower of everyone contained within it. And so if you are the smartest person in the business, and you can do everyone's job better than everyone in your company, then it means that the limit of the business is purely based on one person's horsepower and one person's life experiences. And that will be the cap. And basically, it doesn't matter how smart you are, you can't live 100 lifetimes. Like, you can learn quickly, sure, there's some people who can learn faster than others, but you're not gonna be able to live 1,000 lifetimes. And so as a business grows, more expertise is required. And I think the easiest litmus test for this is if you look at the richest people in the world, almost none of them own 100% of their business. So number one, most of them don't even own 50. Like, most of them are small percentages. Jensen Huang's at 4% for NVIDIA. Bezos is at 7 or 9% for Amazon. I think Elon's at 20 for Tesla, like small percentages. And it's because it takes a lot of horses to take a chariot to the moon, right? And so basically, as you put in more intellectual horsepower, the potential peak of the business goes so much higher, so much faster. Keith Verbois he was one of the original PayPal Mafia guys, has a really good analogy for this. And he talks about it in terms of barrels and ammunition. And he says, so as soon as you get some product market fit, the business starts to grow and you say, okay, we need to start shipping things faster. And this works the same with a services business, a physical products business, software business. The concept's the same. And so what happens is you then hire a lot of people and you assume that your throughput is going to increase proportionally. So we have 10 people, we hire 50, we should 5x our output. And then you quickly realize that that is not the case. And so what happens is there are people who are rate limiters for an organization, and those are the barrels. So think about like a Civil War barrel, old cannon, and you've got these cannonballs next to it. He said most people are ammunition. And so you bring more ammunition, but you're still going to be limited by the one barrel capacity of how many shots can get taken by the barrel. And so you need to find more barrels. So you have to go from 1 barrel to 2 barrels, 2 barrels to 3 barrels. And that becomes an increase in capacity or throughput for the organization. And there are very few of those. In a different, I can't remember the law, but it's some organizational law, but the square root of the number of people in a company generate 50% of the work. So if you have 100 people in an organization, 10 people are responsible for 50% of the value that's created.
Facts.
Right. Anybody who's been in you're like, preach. Right? And so the thing is I think the real game of entrepreneurship is that your standards rise over time. And